Okay, this video is about the book right here called Charged by Gerald Pollack. And he's a scientist. He's a real smart guy. He's a pioneer of the fourth phase of water. So what the fourth phase of water is about, there's water, liquid water, ice, and there's water vapor. And everybody thinks of water having three phases, but there's a fourth phase. It's a gel phase. And that's true because think about it. You see a post-traumatic patient with bleeding. They don't bleed water. If we're 65% water, how come we don't bleed water? If you crack an egg open, you don't see a bunch of water. You see a gel, okay? It's highly relevant. And there's some very interesting things in physiology with regard to this fourth phase of water. This is the guy right here, Gerald Pollack, who wrote the book. And he's a really smart guy. Deserves a Nobel Prize for this. But, okay, what am I going to tell you about the book? Did I like the book? Not that much, and I'll tell you why. But I still think it's a very, very valuable book. He's really trying to be like the next Isaac Newton and figure out gravity, okay? He believes his understanding of electrical charges can explain gravity. And he uses it to explain the clouds, the tides, and a whole bunch of other things. And he believes in the idea of grounding, too. The Earth has a negative charge. You ground your feet on the pad, grounded to the wall, and you can get negative electrons coming into your body, and that's good for your health, okay? And it produces more easy water, so to speak, exclusion water, the fourth phase of water, the gel phase of water. All right, so why was I disappointed in the book? Because I really don't care about the weather. I really don't, all right? This is a good book if you're like in a high school physics class and you want to go to college and become an engineer. Or if you're in college already, you're studying engineering and physics and all that, you can become a master of the electrical properties of nature. So that's beautiful, okay? But I care about mitochondria. I care about the plasma membrane. So the reason I was disappointed in the book is I really wish he would have wrote about the role of exclusion zone water, fourth phase of water in the cell. There's a lot of interesting things happening right now with cellular physiology, like sunlight, for example, is thought to fluidize the matrix water in the inner mitochondrial matrix around the ATP synthase so it can spin faster and you can produce more energy. And I think that's part of the reason why you feel good when you're out in the sun. So I'm interested in that. I'm interested in the concept of biochemical condensates in the cytoplasm, again, with the same property of shifting from liquid phase of water, aqueous solution, to gel phase, and that affecting local chemical properties, local reactions. And how calcium is handled, for example, in microdomains. That's interesting stuff to me, but there was none of that. There was nothing at all about human physiology in the book. So I really could care less. I could give a rat's ass about, explaining the weather based on charges and stuff, so I really didn't care for the book. But I do think it's still a valuable book, obviously, and somebody who is interested in those things. And I do think that, yes, there's people with a lot of power and money who can control the weather. I don't think that's a joke. I think that's true. It's probably quite expensive, but I believe it's doable, and he gives a logical reason why it would be. I think you'll find that all interesting. So anyways, the book has a lot of value for the person who's interested and who's got the time. But if you're interested in human physiology and health, it's not going to help you much for that. I've already gone over the stuff related to the plasma membrane being an electrical battery, the mitochondria being a nuclear power plant, and also an electric generator. So anyways, hope you found that helpful.